Hello lovely humans and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something that's very near and dear to my heart. It is a little DIY tutorial on my actual wedding invitation. Is it a little self-aggrandizing? Maybe. Am I a little biased? Maybe. But I literally held on to these supplies for years so I could either write a blog post about it or so I could do a video about it. So it's here. Today's the day. Congratulations, we've made it. So when I was planning my wedding, I knew that I wanted an invitation that had a lot of different texture to it. So I wanted different elements. I wanted it to be a tactile experience and not just like a visual one. Does that make sense? It was kind of like a weird thing to want for an invitation, but I think texture adds so much depth to a design, and so that's something I definitely wanted to do for my wedding invitation. So naturally, I took to Pinterest and came across this image right here. Ironically enough, I'm actually an acquaintance of this bride, and she actually designed these invitations, and they are gorgeous. I mean, laser engraved wood invitations for your wedding day. I mean, come on, who doesn't want something that cool? I know I certainly did. But the problem was my wallet couldn't afford it. So I wanted to come up with a DIY alternative to get me that same look. So again, jumped on the interwebs and started searching around, came across a wood paper company called realwoodpaper.com, got myself the sampler pack, picked out the color I wanted, picked out the thickness I wanted, and ordered myself a bunch of wood paper. Get them home, throw them in the printer, get to working on them, and they get stuck in the printer. And then they start smearing. And here I am thinking, oh my gosh, I've got like a whole ream of wood paper that I literally can't do anything with because my whole plan is shot. But as you probably guessed, I did not give up. No sir, I persevered. And I kept going because I was a dog with a bone with this idea. So I came across this specific stamp company. That does custom stamps, and the biggest one they offer is 5x7. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but a standard wedding invitation, an A7 wedding invitation, is 5x7. So I thought, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to send my invitation design to this gal and she can make me a stamp for both my invitation and my RSVP card so I can use the weird paper that I purchased that doesn't work with a printer. Even though the website said that it would work with a printer, like, I couldn't get it to work. We'll chalk it up to user error. But like, real talk, that was really hard and I couldn't figure it out. So this company took my images, turned them into these ridiculously cool stamps, and saved the day when it came to my invitations. And y'all, I am so thrilled with the results. But that's enough of like the backstory behind it and enough of me rambling. Without further ado, let's just jump right on into it, shall we? I can't talk. Okay, so supplies. First thing you're gonna need is a paper cutter. And yes, this worked beautifully on the wood paper. Of course, the wood paper of your choice. And that beautiful handmade paper with that cute deckled edge that I mentioned earlier. Some Kraft brown paper. Some ink pad. Some Grosgrain Ribbon? I don't know. A stapler. A punch thing that makes a tag, and of course your custom stamps that clearly got a whole lot of love. And I ordered both my invitation and my RSVP card through her just so I could use two different textures for my invitation. And of course, don't forget the envelope. Here's that sample pack that I was telling you about a little bit earlier. And the reason that I ordered this is I wanted to make sure that I liked the thickness and I liked the color of the wood paper that I'd be getting. And there's the cherry one that I decided on. Now, grabbing your wood paper, which we're just gonna kind of mime this because I don't have any wood paper left, so that's what it looks like. I don't know. But here, I'll show you with a regular piece of paper instead. Go ahead and trim off the edges to cut it down to a 5x7 invitation. Grabbing your ink pad and your paper, both of them straightened. Go ahead and stamp your custom stamp straight onto the giant ink pad. And this is the hardest part, is making sure things are centered. So as you can see, I take my time and press really firmly to make sure the ink transfers. There is a little bit of a learning curve to this. As you can see, some of them I pressed a little too hard on and there was a little bit of leftover residue, but for the most part, I got the hang of it pretty quickly. Again, pressing very firmly to make sure there's enough ink. Also, because this ink pad's slightly dried out. Probably should have bought a new one for a tutorial. Pressing super, super firmly onto the paper. And this is the end result. Ta-da! This is, okay, let's be honest, this is one from our actual wedding. So it's several years old, but look how well it held up. Oh, and quick side note, be sure to not do it on the shiny side and do it on the matte side of the wood instead. Now for our tag. Taking our craft paper, go ahead and pop out a cute little tag piece. And here's another stamp that I totally forgot to mention. I didn't get it from Jennifer Lynn Originals, but on Etsy instead. But that's okay, because I'm sure Jennifer Lynn can make this for you anyways. Go ahead and stamp our initials with cute little floral swaggy bits underneath, and on the reverse side of our stamp machine press is a little hole maker. Now this thing sucks. It's not good, but I don't have a hole punch, and so I just had to make do. I got better at it when I was making my imitations and clearly got them more centered, but if you have a better option, go with that. Now grabbing a couple sprigs of rosemary and peeling off the dead leaves, much like I did in the other DIY wedding invitation video, because it was inspired by my actual invitations, I just go ahead and tape those suckers to the back of the tag. And I know what you're thinking, what about the rosemary? Does it not fall apart in the mail? And some of them did, but like I said in the last video, it ended up being like a little bit of rosemary confetti, and it was fine. Trimming off the excess to make sure none of those twigs stick out, because I didn't like that look. And now it's time for assembly. Here's where that ribbon comes in. Pre-measuring it out by stretching it around the back, I'm just going to cut this ribbon long enough that it overlaps just a little bit so a staple can hold. Yeah, I know a staple's not the most glamorous thing to use, but trust me, it was a heck of a lot more effective than trying to use hot glue or like any other sort of adhesive like that. So I just hope my guests didn't think it was tacky. Taking the ribbon and putting it through the back of the tag. I don't know why I keep calling it a tag. It's just with monogrammed piece of paper? I don't know. Be sure to bunch up the ribbon before putting it through the hole because it makes it a lot easier to thread. Oh, wait, I totally forgot to actually attach the RSVP card because I don't want it sliding around. I'm just gonna grab a piece of tape, loop it around, plop it on the back of the RSVP card, and center it onto the invitation. Now I could have used glue dots instead, but I just preferred the surface area of tape because I felt like it'd be more secure. Now here comes probably the most challenging part, and that is getting the ribbon at the perfect tightness where it's not too tight but not too loose. You don't want it so tight that the invitation buckles or bends, but you want it tight enough that it's not going to slide around when it's being transported in the mail. Give it a good staple, and while this one wasn't exactly centered, it's okay because it's on the back. Give it a little shake to make sure everything stays in place because, again, you don't want things moving around in the mail, so keep it as secure as possible. Going back to that monogram stamp, I grab my envelope and just give it a little extra touch of our initials on the envelope flap. And one thing I do highly recommend that you guys do if you're doing an invitation like this that may have a little bit thicker paper or have some extra elements to it, is to take it to the post office and have it weighed to make sure you don't need extra stamps because heavier invitation suites may need more stamps, and that could be a little bit of a downer on your budget. And as you can see, it's super easy to disassemble and pose for a very cute Instagrammable moment. Wait, hold on. Okay, quick little string. Ta-da! So what do you guys think? I, of course, am like completely in love with them. I know it's been a few years, but I still think that this is a pretty rad design, and I hope it encourages a lot of you guys to try something a little bit outside the box. While my design was actually created by a couple of friends of mine, if you are looking to do something similar, know that you can find something on Etsy. Wedding Chicks has their free template. I know I keep saying her name. No, this video is not sponsored. Not at all. I am simply giving her a shout out because her customer service was on point and her attention to detail was incredible, and because she saved my wedding invitations when like all of my hopes and dreams were pinned on this image and then I couldn't get it to print, and just without her, my wedding invitations would not be what they were. And so she has graciously extended a 10% discount to all of my viewers. If you guys are interested, just go to her website. You can use code Jamie, that's me, Jamie, and I'll leave that discount code below for you guys just in case. But she would love to help you make some sort of custom stamp for your wedding day, or heck, it doesn't have to be for your wedding day either, just like any sort of custom stamp. The sky is the freaking limit with these. So I hope this encourages you to go out and try something different, really push the boundaries on what a wedding invitation should look like, and create something that really defines who you and your fiance are. If you guys are interested in any of the other products I use in this video, I will link them down below. So that's all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like the video, then, you know, like the video down there. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks for the modern day bride. I also wanted to say a huge thank you for all y'all's DIY suggestions that you threw in the comments last week. I'm so excited to do some more DIYs because y'all came in hot with the suggestions, and I can't wait. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun creating a bunch of messes in my home instead of in yours. So I'm just gonna try stuff out for you and let you know how it goes. And until next week, bye guys! Yeah. Hi. Hi. You want me to hold you? Say okay, bye-bye. Bye.